Uh-oh. Before I begin, why do so many Hollywood types mistake notoriety for intelligence? Okay, now back to our program. Chris Evans, a man, and I use the term loosely, has quite some authoritarian fantasies. For example, while hitching a ride on portly Amy Schumer's now derailed gun grabber fantasy, asserted that nobody's trying to take away your guns. That's right, Chris. You and your group of ivory tower buddies are not taking my firearms. Chris Evans had a really good thought. This was his best thought ever. It makes him a kingmaker. It's irrefutable. It was the most ironclad argument this mental midget has ever coughed up. David Duke had some nice things to say about Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions. Donald Trump by extension. That means Donald Trump is a racist, and I didn't even vote for Donald. Well, Chris Evans, needless to say, isn't the brightest bulb in the chandelier. Okay, so Obama's entire presidency is null and void due to his association with Bill Ayers, right? Every piece of legislation that was ever sponsored or co-sponsored by Ted Kennedy is null and void because he was directly responsible for the death of a young woman back in the 1960s, and I believe he was going to engage in sexual intercourse with this woman behind his wife's back, of course. Everything good that Bill Clinton ever did as president is erased because he raped Paula Jones. He assaulted her, and we all know he did. Paid her $800,000, right, Chris Evans? Captain Retard. Ben Shapiro also trolled Chris Evans successfully, pointing out that David Duke also said some nice things about Keith Ellison, Democrat from Minnesota. Whoops! And old Keith, Louis Farrakhan's buddy, almost became a chairman of the Democrat National Committee. Exit question. If Albert Einstein was, and this is the typical guilt by association, projecting person X's shortcomings on anyone they say anything nice about, so sophomoric, if Albert Einstein was found to be a rapist, does this mean all his contributions to science are now to be ignored? If that's the best you have, Chris Evans, then no wonder your party lost on Election Day. I should also add, Chris Evans, if you want to find out the value of the Second Amendment, then move out of your probably gated community into the Inglewood area of Chicago or perhaps Compton, California. Find an efficiency apartment and live there for a few decades. See how well that works out for you, little fella. You don't get to own any guns, though, because those are dangerous, and every time some nutball goes on a rampage, folks like yourself are out there fanning the flames with generalized bull crap like universal background checks and gun show loopholes. Why are those who did not perpetrate the violence being accosted after a violent act? My firearms have killed fewer people than Ted Kennedy's Oldsmobile. My firearms have assaulted fewer women than Bill Clinton. I hate to inform you, Christina, but the most common form of homicide is black on black. I do not care for Donald Trump or the warmongers in the GOP, but it's not white Republicans and libertarians perpetrating most of the violence in this country. It's fatherless children, most of them black. Call me racist because that's your only argument, you dung heap. Oh, and have a nice day, too. Oh, Chris Evans. Chris Evans, I'm not done yet, little fella. Here's some logic for you. Meryl Streep is not a Republican. Roman Polanski is a sicko and most likely a rapist. That's why he won't come back to this country and face trial. Meryl Streep gave Roman Polanski a standing ovation at the 2003 Oscars. Oh, vote Republican because Meryl Streep gave Roman Polanski a standing ovation. Maybe Roman could just pay his victim $800,000 like Bill Clinton did to Paula Jones. Vote Republican because Bill Clinton is a rapist and said nice things about Democrats. Vote Republican because Ted Kennedy is directly responsible for the death of a young woman that he was taking somewhere in a clandestine manner because his wife at the time probably wouldn't approve of it. Vote Republican. Chris Evans, you are a functionally retarded mouth breather. Let's debate Social Security. Now that I've stalemated you, let's debate Social Security reform. Good luck. You will need it.